Hey, what's up and how's it going, all MRBers? As you all know, I am Mike McRock for the McRock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show, and right now I'm about to give you my review as well as the results of TNA Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view event, Lockdown. So TNA Impact Lockdown kicked off with the match that I predicted, and it was Bad Influence and Chris Sabin in a six-man tag team match against the new X Division champion Sanada, Yasu, and the Great Muta. And going into this match, I think TNA should have built up the Great Muta's return to TNA for this match because he's a legend in Japan. But I do like Bad Influence coming out mocking the Japanese in this match, so sometimes the little things do matter. I thought overall this was an okay match. I was expecting a lot more out of it. I was expecting moves on top of the steel cage, even from the rest of the matches that happened on the card. So to me, the overall presentation of Lockdown was a little bit of a letdown. But with this match in particular, the one thing that caught me off guard was Tiger Uno not being in this match, and originally he was billed to be in this match, but we did see him later on, which I will get to later on. So with that being said, the way TNA opened was the match that I predicted. That was a good thing, but to me it was a little bit of a letdown. And like I said, even though there were a good few moments in this match, it wasn't really enough to save the pretty much the entire match. And to me, after watching this match, it felt like this is going to set the tone for the rest of the night. And you'll see why I'm laughing. Later on, we got to see Samuel Shaw versus Mr. Anderson. And I thought this was an okay match. It never really done anything for me when it comes to the wrestling of it. There were a couple of spots I think they could have cleaned up. For example, the backdrop off the top rope looked really bad. The way both men fell off the top rope. And the one thing I do like is the use of Christy Hemme in this match. And I thought for a second she was going to turn and be aligned with Samuel Shaw at the end of it, but we never really got that. What happened was that at the beginning of the match, Samuel Shaw cut a promo and basically said, "I'm going to end it." He was about to go off the top of the steel cage until Mr. Anderson came out and stopped him and said, "You don't want to do it because I'm going to whip your ass." He comes in, the two of them go at it, and like I said, this was not just an okay match. It never really, nothing really stood out to me in my opinion. But at the end, I like what they done. Have Samuel Shaw go over. I think the right person went over because you want to establish Samuel Shaw as your future of TNA. I think TNA done a smart booking decision here. And hopefully this continues with Samuel Shaw going forward. Also, we saw Ethan Carter III. And originally, he was supposed to go one-on-one with Kurt Angle. But we saw the breaking news on Friday that Kurt Angle wasn't able to wrestle at all. He tore his MCL or something like that, so he couldn't compete. What happened was we got to see Ethan Carter III come out and basically talking about Kurt Angle not being able to wrestle. He goes on to issue an open challenge to anyone that's on the roster. Who came out, of all people? Big surprise, Bobby Lashley. And Ethan Carter said, "Well, you're not on the main roster," and he kept saying it over and over and over. And then Bobby Lashley just gave it to him, squashed him, front power slam, and then the spear. I do like the surprise factor of Bobby Lashley. It's great. It's nice to see as someone who hasn't been on for quite some time to make their return. That I do enjoy. But the one thing I hope that TNA does for Bobby Lashley is book him properly, because last going off from TNA, he just wasn't used properly. And with that being said, I think he needs a personality as well. So two things need to happen with Bobby Lashley: book him right and give him a personality so he won't be so boring. To me, because throughout Bobby Lashley's career, to me he's always been very boring. His wrestling is good, but he just has no personality, and I hope TNA gives him one this time. Also, we saw the debut of Tiger Uno. I think it's pronounced Tigger Uno or Tiger, something weird like that. It was him versus going a one-on-one with Manic, and like I said, I was thinking, okay, are we going to see this guy at Lockdown? I'm not really sure, but we got to see him. And what I like is TNA doing something smart. Instead of booking his debut match in a 6-man tag where we probably wouldn't get to see his full potential, I think they done something great to have him booked in a one-on-one match instead, because we get to see what he can do in the ring. And I thought he was actually not half bad in his debut match. The match overall could have been a lot better, but I think they got the point across when Tiger Uno won the match with the saber-tooth splash off the top rope. And the little things matter. I like that he's using a move that we don't see very often, and I thought it was a solid debut for Tiger Uno, in my opinion. We also see, I think in my opinion, was the match of the night, and it was James Storm versus Gunner. And I like how the show, the match started off as well, when two of them were going at it on the ramp. They were just fist fighting, going at it. They make their way back into the ring. They were outside the ring. They weren't even in the steel cage, and already it felt like a steel cage match. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And when I got inside the cage, it was all physicality, chairs, steel steps, and a couple other weapons and the like of using the tag rope. I thought that was pretty neat on James Storm. And like I said, the little things. I like James Storm's new music. He seems to have a darker beard going on, and to me, that signalizes that, okay, we're going to go with this. He's going to turn heel and he's going to win. No, it didn't happen. I thought TNA should have had James Storm win to run with this new heel turn. That's just my opinion. But overall, I thought this match was great. It was physical. And I like that spot where Gunner went off the top rope and James Storm whipped the weapon right at his head. I thought that was a great moment. And like I said, physical. I was expecting blood, but so yeah, you could have done that in the match. But overall, like I said, to me, this was the match of the night. Even though they could have done maybe just a little bit more with this match. Also, we saw Madison Rayne go one-on-one with Gail Kim for the Knockouts Championship. I think they've done a decent job with this. I thought I was going to really harp on this match because just the build-up of it, to me, I don't care about it. Because of that reason, the way that the Gail Kim and Madison Rayne has been starting this rivalry with each other, to me, it really doesn't do anything in that aspect. But when it came to the wrestling match, I thought it was actually not half bad. You had the neck breaker off the ropes. I thought that was a good spot. So was the spear off the top rope. I didn't expect this match to actually be as good as it was. And I think TNA delivered with this Knockouts match. Just the overall build-up of it, I really didn't care. That's the only issue I had. And Madison Rayne, I think, was the right person to go over in this match. Also, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship was on the line. Now, to me, this could have gone on last. Because it's the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. It has to go on last, right? You would think that. But no, they had to book it second last. And I'm wondering why they would put this on first instead of the Lethal Lockdown match first. That was very questionable, I think, in my opinion. But overall, This match, from the moment it started to close to the end, before the interference, was really, really good. I thought it was going in a good direction with the use of submission holds like the sleeper hold, the figure four, the cross arm breaker, as well as the camel clutch. I think that the use of submission holds was actually pretty good, and both guys were bleeding as well. This was a decent, solid wrestling match until Samoa Joe had the match won, and you saw the hand come up. You knew it was Abyss right away because of the hand, and Joe gets pulled down. He gets into the hole that was in the ring. Out back he comes, and he has his eyes rolled back up, and they stayed rolled back up as he's hitting Magnus from the corner. Out comes Abyss. Black Hole Slam to Samoa Joe. Magnus retains the championship. Oh, for the love of God. The match was actually going pretty good until they done that. Why? It just baffles my mind that TNA will pull this kind of crap when you have the match actually going okay. It was going pretty good. Samoa Joe was about to get the ball, get the title, and then they pull this. Why? Oh, why? I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the booking. Why TNA pulled that kind of thing. I really don't understand it. It's a TNA World Heavyweight Championship match, and the end result is from outside interference. Well, not technically outside interference because he's underneath the ring, but you get what I'm saying. I just really don't understand. It just goes over my head. And if you think that was bad, wait until you hear what happened before the show closed off. The 4-on-4 Lethal Lockdown match. And like I said, this was another match that was actually going pretty well until they done this weird, horrible angle. What happened was that Dixie Carter announced that she has a backup plan and an insurance policy. She went to New York and she got Bully Ray to be the special referee in this match. MVP and Austin Aries started off the match. It was starting off pretty good. You had Robbie E come out second. It was 2-on-1. Then you had Eddie Edwards come out to even the odds. You had Jesse come out, and then Davey Richards to even the odds. And you were expecting, TNA built this match as to Jeff Hardy's big return, and Dixie Carter made this noise about Jeff Hardy not allowed to enter the building, so the logical thing to do is have Willow the Wisp make his big debut in TNA. I like how his entrance was. That's how you come in. From the top of the steel cage, and then down below on the four guys, Robbie E, Jesse, Bobby Roode, and the other guy, Austin Aries, and to me, that was one of the good moments out of that steel cage match. Will the Wisp making his grand entrance into the match. That was a good spot, I thought, in my opinion. And like I said, this was a good overall physical match until the ending. You had that spot where the Wolves done the double drop kick onto the guy that had the trash can over him. That was a great spot. You had chairs involved, other weapons involved. And like I said, the ending. I cannot emphasize enough how horrible that ending was. You have Bully Ray, a guy who was threatening to pile drive Mr. Anderson's wife, threatening his kids, setting people on fire, this and that. And then you have him turn on Bobby Roode, and then you have him turn face. Why, for the love of God, would you do that? I mean, Okay, here's the thing. Last year at Lockdown, you had the whole big charade of the Aces and Eights, where Bully Ray fooled us all, apparently. And this year, you have him come full circle in a very awkward kind of way, where you have him cost Bobby Roode the match, and MVP goes over. I do like that MVP and his team won the match. I think it's great to have those guys win the match, and to have TNA MVP have full control of TNA. That I have no problem with. But the problem I have was the way it ended. Bully Ray turning face. It just felt very random. It just really didn't sit well for me because of that. And because of what he's been doing in the past, and why would he do something like that now? I don't think even his explanation will save the outcome of Lockdown. And if you saw Lockdown last night, what did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know. Overall, I would give this show a 6 out of 10 for a very good amount of reasons. And I think that overall, this was, to me, this was a letdown, in my opinion. And that's why I'm trying to be fair with it. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. And if you saw it, tell me what you thought. And while you're at it, you can follow MRB Wrestling Reviews on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook. And you can hit that subscribe button down below this video. And all you viewers watching this video right now, get plenty of rest and always do your best.